Chiefs move back to make the final selection of tonight's first round. They draft the offensive tackle Josh Simmons out of Ohio State. The pick officially in. Once again, the 32nd and final pick of tonight's opening round. The Kansas City Chiefs have selected Josh Simmons from Ohio State. Joe, off to a sensational 2024 campaign for the Buckeyes, but was injured in game number 6 against Oregon. The Buckeyes did reshuffle to replace some of that production along the left side, but he was having a great year at Ohio State in 2024 and a very productive collegiate career before that. We mentioned how KC would prioritize that offensive line, trying to shore up their biggest issue in Super Bowl 59. They do so with Ohio State's Josh Simmons. The final pick of tonight's first round. How does it look to you?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a need, right? You talk about Pat Mahomes being abused in the Super Bowl, and Josh Williams has the ability to come in and potentially challenge for a starting job. Great wingspan, 6'5", 310. Again, could gain some weight and still not miss a beat. And again, you talk about the patella tendon surgery, right, that he suffered at Ohio State. He was trending to be the best player on that offensive line. But again, he's come back from injury. He's rehabbed. He's 100%. Showcase that, didn't go to the combine, but still showcase that he's 100% healthy. And again, at 32 overall, Kev, not a bad pick in terms of safety for that O-line and Andy Reid.
I think it's really interesting with the medical stuff. Like Josh Simmons, we were like, he could have been the number one offensive tackle in his class.
No doubt.
Get injured. Maybe, I've seen some that say a torn patella could be maybe the most difficult thing to come back from. But if you're Kansas City, that's the type of chance I think you take. What's tough, though, is Kansas City, obviously, win-now mode. Are they the team that needed to take that chance? I wonder if KC's a little bummed out. Connerly or, some of the other tackle options weren't on the board for them. That felt a little bit more, okay, I can play this guy day one.
By all reports, the medicals were clean for Josh Simmons. Again, he started 6 games, completed 5 for Ohio State, and was so good in those opening 5 games of the year, he still earned Big Ten honorable mention during the 2024 college football season. But Blue and Cap, the opening round has come to a close, and the Kansas City Chiefs at 32nd overall select Josh Simmons. You guys highlighted how offensive line, offensive tackle would be priority. How do you grade the selection for KC? And might we see Josh Simmons start right away in Kansas City?
We specifically called out his name when we were talking a couple of minutes ago, so a pick that makes a lot of sense to me. What's interesting to me about the Chiefs is that after that 2020 Super Bowl where Mahomes got chased all over the field, he's on a bad ankle, and they got blown out by Tampa, they did do a good job of retooling that offensive line and went on to win back-to-back Super Bowls. Obviously, you gave it a run to win a third, getting back to the big game where they got blown out again, in part because they could not contain Philadelphia's pass rush. So, back to the drawing board. They're going to rebuild it again, and Simmons will clearly be a key piece there.
Yeah, and they could bring him along slowly. They'll have 5 starters, but it's about the future for him. They had to address their offensive line, Mike. It's been such a disappointment because you brought up the time when they lost to the Bucs. The next year, they had 5 new starters. Okay, they admitted their mistake. And then they had the problem with Joe Thuney. They shipped him out to Chicago. Simmons will eventually be a starter for them. It's just a matter of when he'll be ready, but it makes total sense. They got to rebuild their offensive line a little bit. Now, the thing is, where will they line him up? That's the question. They got to see him first when he comes back from his knee injury.
Yeah, Ben, I don't think I have too many concerns about the Chiefs and the manner in which they play. I think people get concerned watching them during the year because they won a lot of games in ugly fashion, and they weren't the impressive, explosive offensive Chiefs team that we saw in previous years. But this has become a defensive-minded football team, and they won a lot of games close because they are good on that side of the ball. So it's going to be up to the Ravens, the Bills, and anybody else to take them to knock them off the top of the mountain in the AFC.